It is my great honor to welcome our wonderful chef, Hiroshi-san, from the Claridge's Hotel. He has 45 years of experience as a sushi chef, and he's currently working at the Claridge's Hotel. And as I see here, he has been working all over the world, and particularly has been in India now for a few years. I am very happy to also welcome on stage Chef Michael Swamy, who's going to be enjoying himself with Hiroshi-san on the stage.
So I think two of us are going to be sharing the commentary about what are we making. So are you going to elaborate a little bit about what chef is going to be making?
Sure. Today he is going to make a chicken neck yakitori, which is the chicken neck skin. And yakitori is basically grilled chicken. Yaki translates as grilled and tori means bird. And another one he'll just make a salmon nigiri. Okay, I'll hand it over to Chef Hiroshi for a quick introduction. Chef, introduction.
I was in United States 10 years, and I was in Spain 10 years, 4 years in Dubai, and 4 years in India. And after COVID, I go back to Japan, and I just coming back from Japan. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure having you, Chef. Yes. Chef, do you want to tell us a little bit about all those wonderful knives of yours before we begin?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the knives. I love the case, by the way. It might be missing by the time, because I'm also at the Claridge's, so you just might find the case in my room by the end of the evening.
So this is for cutting sashimi. Sashimi knife.
That's a sashimi knife for all our viewers.
And this is a petty knife.
That's your petting knife. No, petty knife.
Petty. Yes.
Okay.
This for cutting fish.
So that's the fish that they a fish slicing knife.
Yes. And, this is a butchery.
That's for butchery.
Yes. Butchery knife.
And I'm sure all of these blades are super sharp.
For vegetables. Vegetables. This cutting for small fish.
And that's the knife for all the small fish.
Yes.
So I've just come to know that chef has never had these knives sharpened. So it all goes down to the steel and the making process of these knives.
So when cooking sushi, you need steamed rice.
So that's sushi rice that chef is going to be making right now. So first goes the rice, then some water.
Yes, now washing softly. Like this, soft.
So washing the rice.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a short grain Japanese rice, and it has to be washed with very soft hands, otherwise the grains are prone to breaking.
Yes.
So he's doing it in a soft manner.
So wash 3 times after washing. Again.
So he'll repeat the process 3 times, as he is very specific about what he does, and it has to be 3 times.
So the rice has been cleaned thrice and rinsed, and now chef is probably going to be boiling it. Does he add any salt to it, or it's just boiled as is?
Then wait 30 minutes. After you can cooking.
Done. So the rice is soaked for 30 minutes and then it's cooked. And to save us all that lovely time, I think we already have some cooked rice ready.
Okay, this rice 300 gram.
Okay, chef.
And water 330.
So it's the same quantity of rice to water, and then chef brings it to a simmer for 10 minutes and then leaves it soaking in that hot water for another 10 minutes.
Yes. And when become boiling, very strong. So reduce fire. So keep small.
Yeah, on a very low fire for about till it comes to a boil, and then chef reduces the heat. Yes, chef is on.
Then wait 10 minutes and after shut off.
Done, chef.
And wait 10 minutes. So takes around
Roughly.
30 minutes.
About 30 minutes to cook the rice.
Then you can mix
Yep.
with sushi vinegar.
Okay. So you're mixing the rice with the sushi vinegar.
Yes. And I'm using red vinegar from Japan.
Okay.
And little bit mix balsamico, Italian vinegar. So
So there's a
It's
little
become
bit of
dark.
balsamic vinegar with your
yeah, looks like a
Japanese.
soya sauce.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So rice become like brown, like this, brown color.
So your rice takes on a slight hint of brown because of the vinegar and the hint of balsamic in it. So,
And I didn't put any sugar, only
no.
vinegar and salt.
Oh, lovely, chef.
Yes. So now I'm showing to make sushi.
Sure, sure.
I bring some salmon today.
You know, there was a time when sushi wasn't available at all the restaurants, and it's only been over the past, I think, a decade or so that almost every restaurant has some form of sushi or the other. And even learning all the names, the terminology, is quite an exciting experience. So you have sushi, you have nigiri, you have sashimi, you have
Urimaki,
It's not a bad word, by the way.
urimaki.
Urumaki, all of them. Okay? So chef's going to be using some salmon. Is it Japanese salmon or is it North Atlantic salmon or
Atlantic.
Atlantic salmon? Okay? So you always have to trim down the salmon. You also have to take off the brown parts of the salmon because that tends to be a little bitter. Okay? And I think it takes almost a decade of learning before you even become a sushi master, right?
Yes.
So it's not just about, you enter into a kitchen and by the next day you're calling yourself a chef, if you know what I mean. It takes a lot of dedication to even get to call yourself a chef, okay? And especially learning Japanese food, it takes years.
So this called saku. So I make so this white like a
Three fingers.
For me, 3 finger.
So saku is basically a block, and the precision that chef is doing it with is amazing. I mean, I guess you don't even have to measure, use the weighing scale even because the precision that chef has just cut it with is amazing. So we've already got some cooked rice with us, which has that wonderful hint of pale brown to it. And that comes from the vinegar and the balsamic vinegar. So if you're looking at it on the screen, just watch chef's hands and the way he's molding that rice right now. So there goes a little bit of wasabi,
Yeah, pick fish and put wasabi
a little bit of fish, a little bit of wasabi,
and rice.
and then the rice. And chef shaping it with the palm of his hand and with his fingers.
And use this 4 side have to press this like this. And after you press 2 side, this side, bottom
Down.
side and
On the top.
on top. So 6 side have to press.
So you're basically, the technique is to press it on 6 sides
Yes.
using your palm as well as your fingers. Okay, chef's also dipping his hands into not actually water, but there's some vinegar in it to sterilize your hands.
So very important thing, this should be very soft.
So your rice has to be of the right consistency
Yes.
and soft.
Make a hole
Right, chef.
inside. And after press. So become very soft. If press too hard,
It's too chewy.
too chewy. And I show you maki.
So that's shumaki.
Roll.
So we've got these sushi mats. They're also available at any of the supermarkets these days. So that's the green leaf that you see is actually seaweed. Chef is again dipping his fingers in vinegar water. So the seaweed sheets are actually quite big. So then they're cut down to size according to the size that they're going to be making the sushi. So it's very important also, as chef is doing, to also weigh the proportion of rice that he's going to be using.
So seaweed outside.
Your seaweed is on the outside, your rice is going to be on the inside.
80 gram.
80 grams of rice. You know, like many forms of cooking, Japanese food is all about precision. It's a lot about your getting the exact proportions even. Because technique is very important in Japanese food and Japanese cuisine. So if you watch chef, the way he's pressing down the rice onto the paper, and he's only using his fingers, nothing else, the tips of his fingers.
And very important thing is don't push too hard.
Yep, and don't press down the rice too hard when you're making the sushi. Okay? So it's almost going to the edges, but not exactly right to the edges of the paper. And now chef's going to be placing the fish a little bit off center, if I'm not wrong. Well, I guess I know where all the trimmings of that lovely salmon is going. After this master class, it's probably going to go into my stomach. I just love salmon. And salmon is also very healthy, right, chef?
Yes. And rolled up.
And then you
Very-
roll it,
Just touch and
and you don't have to press too hard.
not too hard. And become square.
And it's a beautiful square that chef has made just by using the rolling mat.
So this means become square means soft.
Okay.
If
If it doesn't become a square, then it's probably not soft. So which one are you making now, chef? The same?
So now I'm making inside out.
Okay, so now we're going to be doing the inside-out version,
The rice is 100 gram, little bit more.
little bit more. So chef, is this almost like a California roll or is it?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you want to tell us a little bit about the difference between Japanese sushi and the California rolls? Oh, okay. I've also forgotten it, so that's why. So I think the Americans wanted to do something slightly different, and that's probably. And correct me if I'm wrong, traditionally sushi is not eaten with chopsticks, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to eat it with the hand.
Yeah, actually you're supposed to eat sushi using your hands. And I think you only dip the rice part of it into the vinegar and the soya, not the whole sushi. So that's the traditional way of actually eating sushi. With your fingers and dipping only the rice into the soy sauce and the vinegar. So again, another perfect square which shows that the rice is soft enough. So this is the inside out rolls, which is also called a California roll.
Cutting.
cutting it into half. Wowzy, that was fast and quick.
I remove this.
No, that's what I love about Japanese food. It's easy, simple, a lot of precision to it, a lot of deftness to it, and
Fire, fire. And heat.
so what are we making right now, chef?
Yeah, almost finished.
Ma'am? So we're doing the yakitori, right? So we're going to be making yakitori right now. And so basically, chef, what is yakitori?
Yakitori is a skewer, Japanese yakitori is a skewer of chicken yakitori, but it's a different yakitori. That's a chicken neck.
Okay, so chef is using the meat from the chicken neck for the yakitori. Yakitori is similar to a satay in some ways, but not actually a satay. So, and what are the flavorings that chef is using in the yakitori? Is it?
No, he has got and then he'll be serving it to the teriyaki.
Yeah. And we all love teriyaki sauce, don't we? It's that nice, sweet, yellowy sauce. There's just salt on the chicken and that's it. So again, even the cut of meat that is being used is very important. Chef is only using the meat from the neck portion of the chicken. And here you get the actual flavors of the meat. It's not just being coated with a lot of spice or masalas and flavorings. It's just simple, easy flavors, the whole flavor of the meat, the best way to eat it, and some lovely sauce to go with it. So if you can't make yakitori sauce, it's actually pretty simple to make. But it's also available at most of the supermarkets.
So become now brown color, little bit nice.
Nice golden brown. Well, not actually golden brown, it's a little darker shade of brown, but yes. But just remember not to overcook the chicken, otherwise it'll kind of be hard, rubbery, which is something we don't want.
You need brush, chef?
Yeah.
So chef's just brushing on some sauce on top of it. Not too much, just a little bit. And that's going to give it a nice caramelly flavor, I'm guessing. Right, chef?
Yes.
This is a secret teriyaki sauce recipe. And this is a secret teriyaki sauce.
So like I said, this is chef's secret recipe. So if you want to have it, you got to come to the hotel. Otherwise, you have to come and work with chef for 10 years. Then probably share the recipe.
No.
So we've got 3 types of sushi. We've got some yakitori. So we're done. And
Yes.
anybody from the audience wants to come and taste?
Yes, sure. Can you repeat the question, please?
My question is, in college, they teach you Japanese food like this? You just had a beautiful master class. Yes or no? What did you learn from the master class?
A lot. First of all, types of sushis. I was especially inspired by how he cuts the sushis.
Absolutely, the precision.
And I love the knives he has.
Don't we all love the knives? And what else did you learn?
A lot. So, I had one question for Chef.
Chef, there's a question for you.
So, the yakitoris that I have seen, they usually have some vegetables in the middle. So, why did not Chef have those?
Chef, some people
Yes.
put vegetables in the middle
Of the
of,
yakitori?
of
Yes,
their
of
chicken.
course. Of course we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is there a difference or are there different types of yakitoris?
No, we're using same sauce. You see,
No, but he's talking about when you put it onto the steak.
Squares, yeah.
Or when you put it onto the skewers,
Yes.
sometimes people put vegetables into it, right?
sure. Yes.
So
Like a
is it called something different? Even shiitake mushrooms, right?
And okra, using okra also.
Right.
And spring onions.
Okay.
Onions.
So you can use okra, spring onions,
And
what else?
you can use
any vegetable.
any vegetable. And you can put salt. Or
Chef, is there any
teriyaki-
special kind of salt that you
teriyaki
use?
Salt. Excuse me?
Is there any special kind of salt that you use in Japanese food?
We're using no Indian salt.
Himalayan salt.
We're using Himalayan salt. And chef, there is 7 spice powder that Japanese use on their food, right? What's it
Spice, no?
called? No, it's not spice, but it's like flavoring, right? What's it called?
Togarashi.
I want the chef to explain
Oh,
it.
shimi. Yeah, we have two different kind of spice.
Yeah,
One is chili powder, 100%
chili,
chili.
100%.
Chili powder.
Yeah.
And we have 7 different kind mix chili.
Yes,
So
and that's called togarashi, right?
chimi togarashi.
Chimi togarashi.
Chimi togarashi, yes.
So that's been a wonderful session of learning about sushi from chef. And head over to the Claridge's counter if you want to have some more sushi and all the lovely products they have there. And thank you, chef, for a lovely session.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, please give chef a very, very big hand.